All right, three o'clock. So let's get started. Welcome everyone. First, we'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of June 2nd. Tom, thank you. Second by Mr. Tollison. Discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Jenniffer McCloskey, employment and training, something that is a very hot topic nowadays.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
How are we doing?
Doing very good.
That's
Thank
good.
you. So my first agenda request is to accept our PY21 funding for the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. It's an annual housekeeping item. We did get a 15% increase overall this year. A lot of money is being put into workforce. So we're happy to see that increase. And this will be split among Saratoga, Warren, and Washington counties. And our allocation for this year is $765,508.87, which is an increase for us of about $42,000.
I'll entertain a motion to accept that funding. Mr. Tollison, second by Mrs. Winnie. Anybody have any questions for Jenniffer? Okay, all in favor? Opposed, motion carries. Okay, number two.
Number two is to approve the Workforce Development Board budget for PY21. This is a cost that is shared over the 3-county area for Saratoga, Warren, and Washington counties. And it is for the staff and the operation of the Workforce Development Board. And it is increasing over the past years. The Workforce Development Board was structured many, many years ago. And it's really not up to date with what the rest of the state is doing. What we're trying to do is to retain, a great executive director, offer benefits, and be more competitive so that we can attract and retain good staff for the board so that we can be a little bit more effective and efficient. So this resolution would be to approve the Workforce Development Board budget so that we can allocate those funds for that.
Okay. Hopefully everybody's had a chance to take a look at that. I'll entertain a motion to approve the budget.
Supervisor Gaston, I'll move that.
Supervisor Gaston? Thank you.
Yes, I said I would move that.
Very good. Mr. Wood has a second. Any questions for Jen on the budget? Yes, Mr. Tolles.
So this is approved by all 3 counties?
Yes, it's going up to every county for approval.
Thank you.
You bet.
And it has been approved unanimously by the board, the Workforce Development Board.
Very good. Anyone else? Okay. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Number 3, Jen.
Number 3 is to contract with J.J. Young for the Workforce Development Board administrative cost. The WIOA legislation prohibits us from administering and providing services for the board to provide services. So we contract with J.J. Young to provide payroll services. And I think we're going to be looking at restructuring that in the future. But for now, they're the one payroll company that will front the cost for us. We did look into in the past, procuring a different method, but they require advance payment that we can't do. So this is just another housekeeping item to keep that contract going with J.J. Young to provide administrative services.
Okay, very good. And we've had that relationship for a long time, right?
Oh, yeah.
How many years now?
At least since I've been here, so at least 9.
Yeah, I think at least as long as I've been here, which is 22. So
More
yeah,
than
I do remember that name being around a long time.
Yep.
I'll entertain a motion to continue that arrangement. Tollison, Winnie with a second. Any questions for Jen?
Yeah, just
Yes, Joe.
no change.
No change. Nope.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Number 4, Jen.
And my last one is to accept our 2021 Summer Youth Employment Program funds from OTDA. And this year we are receiving $236,856. It is a slight decrease over last year, but participation has been harder to get. So, we still plan on serving at least 65 to 70 youth in Saratoga County. And a lot of them are already working, so.
Good. Good. I'll entertain a motion to accept that funding.
I'll move that. Supervisor Gaston.
Supervisor Gaston,
Second.
second by Mr. Tollison. Do we have any opportunities still available there, Jen? or-
Absolutely. So
Okay.
we're still taking applications. We're doing intakes every day. We're getting new worksite applications every day. So, if you have any opportunities or you have any kids, especially, we have lots of work sites. We need some more kids. But that's kind of the workforce system right now. But yeah, reach out if you have any interest or students or anything. 14 to 21.
I remember, I don't know if it was last meeting or the meeting before that, asked you to send out another note to the supervisors about this, right? Is that what we did?
I had sent out the application right before the meeting.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what it was.
Yep.
Okay. So, I don't know if it'd be worthwhile to send it out again.
I can absolutely do that.
But if you could do that, just to let the supervisors know that
Yeah.
there's still opportunity available.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Thank you.
All right, any other questions for Jen on that item? Okay, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Jen, also at previous meetings, we had talked about the Workforce Development Board and correspondence that was sent to, I think directly to the Department of Labor
Mhm.
regarding unemployment benefits and how they're being regulated by the state. Has there been any change in that?
They have reinstated the work search
They did.
requirement.
Okay.
So that is pretty much the only change. New York State is still accepting the additional federal funds. I don't see that changing. But hopefully that will be done in September.
So just describe what that change is in basic terms. I mean, I guess all that means is they have to prove they go on interviews, right?
Essentially. So the Department of Labor conducts meetings with the claimants. And unfortunately, a lot of that has been put on hold because the staff that usually, handles those appointments have been pulled from those duties to process unemployment claims. They're not doing their their regular jobs. A lot of that is changing. So a lot of that staff that was delegated to do unemployment claims is now starting those meetings back up again.
Mhm.
And the claimants have to prove that they're doing at least 3 work search activities in a week.
Are we seeing any light at the end of the tunnel as far as the availability of labor in many of the areas where we were experiencing shortages, such as hospitality and other segments of the economy?
I wish I could say yes, but I'm still hearing from so many businesses that people are applying, and I believe that's because of the work search requirement, but then they're not following up. So they won't show up to interviews, they'll get hired, they won't show up to work. So there's still a lot of challenges in that respect. And a lot of people, working those hospitality jobs found they left that industry. And they found other jobs that were paying better and less stressful and less risky with COVID.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
And you had mentioned before, New York is still accepting the additional federal dollars, which means if you are on unemployment in New York State, you are receiving a premium over and above what you would
Yeah,
have
if
received,
you-
say,
if-
post or pre-COVID.
Yeah, absolutely. If you were, if you qualified for the max unemployment benefit, which is around $450 plus the 300, I mean,
Yeah.
you're making $22 an hour.
Yeah.
So,
And that's still in play.
yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Is there a date that the federal government has set that that will end or no?
I believe it's around September 1st.
Okay.
Yeah. And I haven't heard any talks of the extension because it's so controversial right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah. Anything
Appreciate
else?
that update. Any other questions while Jen's here? Okay.
Thank you.
Well, that's a good update on some items we've been talking about through the year, so thank you. SEDC is here, and Dennis isn't here, but Tori is. I wanted her to just give a brief update on an initiative that we've begun involving the electric utilities in the area, National Grid, NYSEG, Verizon as a communication company, sewer and water entities throughout the county, all part of a working group through working together through a grant from CDRPC. And it's about taking an inventory of all of our assets that we have collectively in Saratoga County and working on resiliency for the future and some additional teamwork amongst everybody in this group. There's a lot of facets to this initiative, but it's an exciting one. SEDC was selected to be the administrator of the program, I guess would be the right term. So we did have our first meeting and it went very well. So Tori, if you could give us an update on what exactly we're trying to accomplish and any thoughts you had about the first meeting.
Sure. So I think for all of us at the meeting, we knew that there were contingency plans. We always know there's emergency plans. What we learned during the meeting is there were silos in the plans. So what we're hoping to capture with this group is really update the contingency plans, update the resiliency plans, see where there may be some overlapping that complements and reduces expenses for each of the utilities, the water, the sewer, emergency services, landlines, and broadband as well, and identify really what we have, what the opportunities are, what those obstacles are, and how we work together to apply for funding. We were lucky enough to have Mike Franchini join us that morning. We met on the 23rd. I had a great meeting, very, very robust. Michael was encouraging us to really follow through and not just get the study underway and finalized, but to then use it for funding opportunities for all of us to benefit from. So we learned quite a bit. We also learned, for instance, that Dan Rourke, when he has a situation, he didn't have a direct contact at the utilities. So just during that 1 hour and a half, we were able to really connect the parties and players for those emergency opportunities. Some of the things that we discussed were where are the resiliency needs in each sector, critical infrastructure, definitely mention the confidentiality concerns that are in place for each of those. We were able to discuss a little bit. After about 30 minutes, we realized there were definitely some areas that weren't confidential that we could share. This will be for our county municipalities, our businesses. It'll be very fluid by the time we're done with the study. Everybody will have a copy. I think we'll be in better place with communications in cases of emergencies for resiliency. And I think we'll also be in a better position as we apply for funding for each one of those divisions collectively.
Yeah, and also in certain respects, just an alert from one entity to the next as far as where the next need might be in a particular part of the county, or projects that are being contemplated where there would be a need for additional infrastructure with regard to utilities or any other water, sewer, whatever it might be. So yeah, all very important things. And the first thing I asked SEDC to do, because it was clear during the meeting, was to put together a contact list for everybody in the room for not only names, but direct numbers during working hours and then off-hour emergency contact information as well. So I think the first meeting went well. We'll have several more as the process continues. We'll continue to report back to the committee and board of supervisors on our progress, but I think at the end of the day, we're going to have a very, very good document. I said at the meeting, I haven't been around forever, but I've been around long enough to know that when you are searching for funding opportunities to assist in these areas, having a study and having a basis of information for a grant application or a study that can be included in the grant application is extremely important, and usually makes your application a little more viable. So that's also an important element of what we're trying to accomplish. So overall, yeah, I'm excited for this initiative and looking for big things in the future. Anything else that you want to mention as far as next steps?
The next steps will be meeting, we'll be putting the contact list together, we'll start identifying what's already in place. We'll compile that, we'll collectively look at a group, and then we'll see how we can communicate that, what we need to build off of and bring it back to the county. But it's also great for each town within the county. So I think it'll be a resourceful document for everybody.
Yeah, I think so. I want it to be useful for everybody that's within the county, whether it's county government or any of those entities or other municipalities that could use this information. And I think there's a lot of fertile ground for better coordination with the utilities themselves. And we actually got into that discussion quite a bit with National Grid and NYSEG. Some municipalities deal with them on a very regular basis. I know I do, across many segments of their operations. I'm in contact with them all the time. Others aren't as involved with them for various reasons. So I think there's a lot of opportunity there to have a much better relationship and connection with our utilities. Obviously very important, and they have a lot of challenges right now with regard to green energy and how that's going to be accepted into their system and the cost of it, and how they might deliver energy in the future, which, if things continue on the track that they're on now, their whole business model is going to be very different in 10 to 20 years than it is now. So they're going through a constant series of changes and a lot of disruption in the energy sector. So I think working closely with them and our ability to understand where they are in that cycle of change and the disruptive factors that they're dealing with on a daily basis will only help us identify opportunities for us to work with them.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be something very, very significant in the future. Very good. Any questions for Tori while she's here?
Chair,
Yes,
is this an initiative of SEDC or the county?
County.
Okay, so this was under this committee?
Yep.
Excellent. I would suggest that when you're doing the contact list, the county already has a pretty comprehensive list of utility contacts. That might save some time under the comprehensive emergency management plan.
Excellent.
So you might want to reach out to Commissioner Zegelman. I know that they have to keep a copy of that in the emergency management plan. That might save you a few minutes.
Great. I
So-
believe Michael Stanley joined us that morning.
Yeah,
He was
Okay.
mentioning something to that effect, Tara, but I'll follow up on.
Okay, great. That might save a couple of minutes in
I
getting all that
appreciate
contact
that.
information. Or at least give you a list of who might need to be added. if
Yeah.
not. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you.
And the utilities have different layers too. A contact that I might reach out to, or you, or any of the supervisors here might reach out to on a particular item is different than, say, Dan Rourke might reach out to. So there's different layers depending on what type of entity is contacting the utility. So we want to make sure that they have the best direct contact for them, again, during working hours and then obviously during emergency situations. I think Ed Hernandez also mentioned something to that effect. So.
You sure did. And
Yeah.
Dan, we've already been receiving the off hours. We're pretty much almost, I think we're about 85% complete on the initial contact list. So we're just about finalized with
Yeah,
that.
good. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Next up, we have Shelby Schneider from the partnership, and I guess this will be the last time she comes before this committee, at least in this capacity. It might be
Could be back in the.
yeah, in a different capacity. Absolutely. But before you get started, on behalf of the committee and Board of Supervisors, we wish you nothing but the best in the future. And it sounds like an exciting opportunity. Maybe you can just update those that are here that maybe aren't as familiar with your future plans.
So yes, I'm going to be the Deputy Director of the New York State Economic Development Council.
Mhm.
So it's not a state agency, it's not a state entity, it's
Mhm.
actually a consortium, a membership organization of economic development organizations, utilities, industrial development agencies, workforce development institutions, higher ed throughout New York State. So, having worked in and around economic development for the past 20 years in Saratoga County, which has been a wonderful opportunity. And I thank you all. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to have worked in such an amazing place, the fastest growing county in New York State with the most transformational economic development projects. I'm looking forward to taking a lot of this knowledge that I've gathered and contacts and other things and really employing that at a state level. So I know you're going to be experiencing a lot of great opportunity, especially with the federal funding, the recovery funding that's going to be coming down in the next 2 years. And, it's going to be really fun to be working with all of our statewide entities. So, but
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And also thank you so much for, the past year and a half and the opportunity to lead the Saratoga County Prosperity Partnership, despite the roller coaster, the challenges that we've faced over the past year and a half, no better place than I'd rather be. And, like I said, I'm grateful for the opportunity. So, but this is my last meeting.
Well, you led the partnership during a very difficult time. There's no, because when you look over the last year and a half, it was a tough year and a half for everybody, right? So, yeah.
But we're nothing but
Give you
on
credit
the
for that.
Yep, exactly. And a lot of, with every problem comes an opportunity. And,
Yeah.
We're seeing bed tax roaring back.
Yeah.
There's really going to be a lot of opportunity here and statewide. So, but I am here to talk about the Economic Development Fund, and we have 3 more applications.
Good.
One from the town of Half Moon. It is a town center lighting project that is part of their overall comprehensive plan and comprehensive economic development initiative to really make the town a more attractive place, and making the center of your community more attractive and improving the lighting is one of the components of that project. The city of Saratoga Springs, in the same kind of vein, is putting their resources into the visitor center, which is right on Broadway. It had been closed all last year, looking a little worn down these days. So in hopes of really welcoming visitors back to the city, they are giving it a nice little facelift. $7,100 does not go a long way, but I'm sure this will. And also the town of Wilton, they have a kind of a renovation, beautification, and enhanced visibility project for a local business, Wilton Flooring, in the town right off of Ballard Road. You probably, if you drove by, you'd miss it. So they're going to improve the signage, clear brush, improve the parking. And again, every little bit counts. And that is right on the corner of Northern Pines and Ballard Road. So these 3 submissions are $21,300. So the total for 2021 so far is $99,400, and you only have 7 left to look at this year. And I've heard from most of the communities throughout Saratoga County that haven't applied yet, but they total $49,700. And you have a whole spreadsheet, a comprehensive list of all the projects. And when projects are done, all they have to do is send in the reimbursement paperwork with their voucher. And, I'm sure Amy in our office is going to be handling that. But Matt Rose here at the county has been a wonderful steward and assistant. So,
Good.
Yep.
Good.
So,
Well, that's great. 3 great projects. Congratulate all 3 of those municipalities, as well as the other municipalities that have already submitted. I think this program has been wildly successful and helpful to to all the municipalities that have taken advantage of it over the last couple of years.
Agreed. Agreed.
Any questions for Shelby on these projects or the program as a whole? In case of somebody here that hasn't submitted yet, might have a question?
Chair,
No? Yes.
I just wanted to say thank you to the committee for those who came before and those who are now, for the opportunity. It's not just going to be for a facelift. The visitor center has some structural issues. It's a historic location. There are also WPA murals inside the visitor center. And so this is actually going to go towards a strategic plan for renewing all of that, preserving the WPA artwork and the facility itself. And as everyone knows, the city suffered a lot over COVID, and these are dollars that the city does not have available. And without this grant, they wouldn't be able to look forward and plan on what they need. So this was very much appreciated by the city. Thank you.
That's great.
Thank you for elaborating, Supervisor.
That's great. Very good. All right, well, I'll entertain a motion to approve the applications. Moved by Mr. Grasso, second by Mr. Wood. Further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Anything else on the partnership end? So Amy will be able to keep
Yeah,
the home
just-
fires burning here for a while, right?
Fires.
Okay,
Yes, yes, she
good.
is.
Good.
But, yeah, trying to, close up my business, nice and neat and tidy. But like I said, I still live here. If, I've met with board members. If anyone needs anything, I'm just a phone call away. I'm here for you, and, we know how small of a world it is. So,
Yep,
I'm here to support whatever needs you have here.
great, thank you. Much appreciated. And good luck to you. I'm
Thank you.
sure you'll be very successful in your next step. Is there any other business to come before the committee today? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Mr. Grasso, Mr. Tollison, all in favor? Opposed, motion carries. Thank you.